appeared in the store today. It is only there for 24 hours. It is the 24-hour Holiday Ascension. I've had a few people ask me about it on Discord and beg and plead and cry my name out for a valuation on this. And of course, I had to act fast because it is only available for 24 hours. So let's hit that intro and take a look at what you're getting for your money. All right, so like I said, we have a 24-hour Holiday Ascension that appeared in game. I see it on the PC client. I believe it is also available on the mobile client as well. And it looks like at first glance, we're paying roughly overall $40 to get some signal data, some Relic 0 to Relic 7 material, but then notably also some stuff for the higher relics as well. So for Relic 8, Relic 9, and Relic 10. But does it stack up to other packs in the game? And I have to tell you, this one is actually interesting, and I'll show you why in just a second. Let's pop on over to our sheets right over here. We've added this to the game. Now, just as a reminder, we are valuing corrupted signal data based upon its cheapest cost to farm in relation to the gray signal data, which is the easiest, most effective way to get it. And we are valuing our Relic 10 materials right now based on an estimate from the $200 Relic 10 bundles and just trying to get a value based on what we see in game so far. I do think that that value might come down a little bit in the near future, but for right now, that's all we have to go on. So popping on over, we've got our cover. Let's go to our Ascensions, our 24-hour Holiday Ascension. And right off the bat, let's zoom this in a little bit. There is no free tier to this pack. At tier 1, you're getting green signal data, carbonate circuit boards, and bronzium wiring. You're paying $1.99, and you're getting about $1.48 in converted value. Now, that converted value is based off of my 500 crystal relic pack conversion rates. So what that means is that CG is probably valuing this at about $2. I'm valuing it less, and I've been doing that for a little bit over a year and a half at this point, and we have seen a significant decrease in valuation as well, just in the game from the economy changes with Raid 1 currency, and honestly with Raid 2 currency as well. So if you are just here to purchase the bottom value, I really think that you should steer clear. Now, if you're in the early to mid game and you need a ton of carbonated circuit boards or anything Relic 0 to Relic 7, then sure, fine, you might find some value here. But for the predominant player, the veteran player, the player who is really working their way through the raid rewards, you're going to start seeing a real lack of need for Relic 1 to Relic 7 parts in the future. But again, this is just tier 1, so $1.50 value for about $2 in converted cost. That gets slightly lower at $1.89 if you are buying this on the PC client. Moving over to tier 2, we get a slight increase here with chromium transistors, which notably I have always valued as a 0 because of the weapon tech that you can get from guild activity tokens. You're also getting a few more bronzium wirings and some rhodium heat sinks, which are also at a extreme discount because of MK3 hollow projectors. So for about $5, you're getting $4 in value and almost a 20% reduction in value here. That does not spark joy. And honestly, this pack is not looking good just yet, but I will tell you, if we hold out until the very end, there will be a couple of surprises. Moving on to that next tier, which is tier 3 and tier 4. This is where we start to see the Relic 6 and the Relic 7 material. We start to see more signal data as well, and that's probably what the majority of players are looking for when they're looking at packs like this. We are seeing about $10 in converted cost, so 997. You're getting about 949 in value, so a reduction of roughly 5%. Now, I will remind you again that a lot of my relic valuations are based on the 500 crystal relic packs. So if you buy this because you need a ton of things, um, it's not terrible. But my problem with this pack at this point, and in relation to a lot of packs like this, is even if you need Zimbital crystals, even if you need Electrum conductors, getting two of them doesn't really do anything for you as a player at all. So you may be reducing a farm by like a day and getting store value on things, right? Not super great. But this is where it starts to get interesting, because moving on to the next tier, so tier 5 and 6, we'll zoom out a little bit here, pop on over. For tier 5 and 6, we're starting to see our Relic 8 and our Relic, well, actually, just our Relic 8 valuations. We're starting to see a little bit more signal data being added into the mix. And here, for about $20 in value or $20 in cost, we are seeing about $25 in value. So this is where we start to see that value increase at the second to last purchasable tier. This is where things start to get worth it. Once again, 2 Zimbitals, 2 Electrum conductors, 5 impulse detectors. You're not getting any brand new upgrades just from buying this, but it might save you a couple of days, and you are getting a little bit of a discount. Again, not the greatest. We have seen valuations and value increases in the 80 to 100% at fairly low costs in the past. So here, when we talk about a 24-hour holiday ascension and we're talking about wanting to give players value and sparking joy around the holidays, this does not yet do it. However, when we get to that last tier over here, all right, so this is your tier 7 to 9. This is where you're starting to see Relic 10 material. This is where you're starting to see Relic 9 material. This is where you're starting to see a much bigger increase in your signal data. This is where we see a huge increase in our value. And a lot of that value increase is from the coaxial servo motors. It is from the corrupted signal data up here, which are very valuable, which do have a high crystal conversion rate. But for $40, you're seeing about $110 in overall value and a value increase of 175%. That is actually insane. That is something I don't even think we see that type of valuation when we get the BOGOs. We normally see around like 120 to 150% valuation. This is really nice. If you are somebody in the end game who wants Relic 10s, if you are somebody who is trying to get through an entire meme team of 5 Gungans on as cheap a cost as you possibly can, this is not a bad way to do it. And now, even if we were to take out some of these relic materials, so let's say you do not need anything all the way through Zimbital cards, we are still seeing a very, very, very nice valuation, right? 160% there. That is crazy. Even if we take out the impulse detectors and we take out the arrow magnifiers, we are still seeing a 142% increase in valuation. Essentially, what I'm saying is that this is a really nice, really cheap Relic 10 pack that is probably not coming around until May the 4th again. And if you are a person who likes your Relic 10, this is something that I would seriously consider purchasing. So, as your TLDR here, if you are in the mid game, if you are a newer player, you maybe want to skip this pack. It's not going to be interesting to you. If you are a newer player that sees long-term prospects and you're still like a lower spender, you might be thinking, hey, I could get these 10 coaxial servo motors now and use them in 2 years. I don't know what the game economy is going to look like at that point. I don't know if there's going to be Relic 14 and Relic 10 is so devalued that we don't even care about it anymore. All I know is that right now, if you are a player that is buying coaxial servo motors from the Coliseum because there's nothing really for you in the Lightspeed tokens. If you are a player that is playing in Kyber, if you are a player that has isolated 3 or 4 Relic 10 projects for your future and you don't know how you're going to get that stuff on the cheap and you're doing the math and saying, hey, it's going to take me 3 months to get a single Relic 10, this is not a bad way to spend $40. I would spend more than this on a bottle of scotch and drink it in a week. So that's it. That's your valuation. I hope you find it helpful. If you did and you are not currently subscribed, consider subscribing so that you do get these things on the regular. And as always, if you are a Buy Me a Beer member, all of these premium value charts are available to you for your own use on your own time. With all of that said, peace out. Have a great rest of your day.